So how many degrees in 1 radian? Well, let's write it out. If pi radians equals 180 degrees, 1 radian is going to equal what? How can we figure this out? 1 radian. Well, let's look at this as what as a number. Usually we don't use the decimal, but 1.1416. So 1 it's about 1/3, isn't it? It's about 1/3 of 180, and we know that just from looking at this. It's a little less than 1/3, isn't it? So let's see what we get. 1/3 of 180, of course, we know it's 60. Let me pull my calculator up again because that might be useful here. I don't want to do this in my head. So we're going to say, turn your calculator on, 180 degrees divided by 3, well, wait a second. Delete, go back, yeah, delete that. Divided by, why don't I just use pi since it's available to me here, it'd be a little easier. Right? 180 degrees divided by pi, and that's going to tell us how many degrees are in 1 radian. That might be a useful thing to know. So it's 57 point, let me pull that up again so we can look at it. Let's call it 0.3. Push this out of the way, that'll work better for me. 0.3. And how many revolutions will that be? This is tricky, isn't it? How many revolutions will that be? Well, it'll be 57.2958 of 360. That'll be how many revolutions it is. Again, I think I'd be better off if I pulled over a calculator here. Let me divide this by 360, and that will tell me how much of a full revolution I have here. It's going to be 0.1592. So it'd be 0.1592. Now, if I thought that might be a nice even fraction, maybe I'd prefer to write it that way. How could I check that? Go to Math, Fraction, you've maybe done this before, and see if you come out with anything. No, it's just going to be that lousy decimal. Finally, pi revolutions. This exercise is getting us to think about a lot. Okay. Pi revolutions. So that's pi revolutions. That's 3.1416 revolutions. How many degrees is that going to be? Well, it's going to be 360 plus 360. There's one revolution. There's two revolutions. Let's put another one over here. 3 revolutions. So it's going to be something more than this. Oh, we definitely going to get our calculator out for this. So we've got 1 revolution, which is equal to 360 degrees. But we're not going 1 revolution, we're going pi revolutions times, and with our calculator we'll simply use the pi. How many degrees is that going to be? Yikes. That's a lot of degrees. Let's call it, we'll round to the nearest degree. 1131. 1131. 1131 degrees. What's the matter with me? I didn't put degrees on here. That's sloppy. I wouldn't accept that from you. All right, now we're going to see how many radians is that. Oh boy, how many radians is that? Well, 1 pi radian is 180. So if we've got 1131 degrees and 180 is 1 pi, if I divide that out, I'm going to know how many pi radians I have. So I've got the number right here. Let's use it. We'll divide by 180. 6.28. Well, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Looks like 2 pi, doesn't it? Let's try that. 2 times pi. Maybe you already saw that. Right, it's 2 pi. Well, of course it's 2 pi. We've seen that again and again and again, that the number of revolutions is always twice the number of pi radians. Yes, what a good exercise. So some of you just skip to the end to check your answers. Now, back in class, when I see you tomorrow, we're going to do the homework assignment number 1. I'll also answer any questions that you had out of this session. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.